Good evening. Good evening, everybody. This is Jimmy Whitehead on the Atlantic City Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour podcast. How are y'all doing? I hope everybody's staying warm and healthy, and prayers up for the homeless during this time, because this is some critically cold weather. I mean, it is. I got up the other morning and I looked at the temperature outside in Atlantic City, and it said 7 degrees, and that's lower than cold. That's lower than freezing. Okay, that's Alaska weather, North Pole. So hope everybody is staying safe and warm and careful when you drive. I have avoided driving since the blizzard hit, because there's a lot of ice out there, and you have to be super careful. So I hope everybody's doing fine, and I'm pleased to come to you this Friday evening with some updates on our efforts and a marvelous graduation that we had on Saturday, January 24th, for our second cohort of Cybersecurity Cyber Guardians. And before we even get started, I want to give a special shout out to our RX5 Cyber Guardians, second cohort graduates, because they are the mustard seed to what we are working on, which is being led by our Mayor Marty Small Sr. and his incredible support of our program over the years. Took us 10 years to get to this point where we can actually say we have our second graduating class. Horace Jones, the president of U.S. Hard, we are working on organizing our next cohort, which will start up in the spring, and we'll keep everybody abreast because we have a lot of folks who want to participate in upcoming programs, and that is major because under Mayor Marty Small's leadership, and now through a collaboration with the other Atlantic coastal mayors, Longport, Margate, Ventnor, Brigantine, we are going to focus on expanding our program. And by doing this, we not only help our program, but we support the mayor's incredible efforts because many of you may know this already. Not only, but the mayor has an organization that is headed by Kashan, and it's a city of Atlantic City. They call it the Information Technology SWAT Team, Cybersecurity. And I love the fact that our city has taken significant steps forward to bring cybersecurity and AI to our city to help protect our city from crime, but also to help our city be smarter in terms of how the police department works with the fire department, emergency responders, and all of the different pieces that make Atlantic City function so well. They've been focused on this for several years. And when we had our event the other day, it was on Saturday, right before the snowstorm hit. So it shows you how, God has blessed our program because God held up the snowstorm until after we completed a mayoral collaboration discussion and our wonderful Cyber Guardians graduation. And so first I want to just shout out to the individuals who spent 10 intense weeks of high-level cybersecurity offense and defense training. We have some very skilled individuals who did the training, who provide training for the Department of Defense and other government agencies. So this was real hardcore cybersecurity workforce training. Horace Jones laughs at me when I call it pure cybersecurity workforce training because, many of you may know the first cohort that we did was focused on low voltage electrical workforce training. And we still have some milestones to accomplish with those incredible individuals who participated in our first cohort. And the money for the AI cameras that we want to have them help install, those funds still have not been used to purchase the cameras yet. So that first cohort of training happened quickly, early, and they're prepared, but they still have some things to do. They still have some due diligence to do. The first cohort, we got to work with them on their resumes. We have to get them into a algebra refresher course that we're going to cover the cost of, U.S. Hard. And then we have to get several of them to take the apprenticeship test with the union. That's the first step with that group. With the second group that just graduated the other day, and I'm going to read out their names and give them a shout out. Big shout out to Robert Cotman, David Dixon, Brandon Hargross, Nairobi Hathaway, Ashley Ingram, Stefan Jackson, the Marine, Angelo Jones, Anatoly Lynn, Ahmad Martin, David Mitchell, Khadijah Mohammed, Mariah Normel, Lorraine Robinson, Takima Tolksen, excuse me with some of the mispronunciations, but I'm doing my best, y'all. Kai Warren, who was in both our classes, Juan Wiggins, Tanisha Williams, and Bill Young. I want to give all of them a round of applause because you guys have taken a step to be the foundation of Atlantic City's future cybersecurity warriors. You are the first class that we did that was pure cybersecurity, and we have some more programs that we're going to bring you into, and we're going to work with you in terms of searching for jobs for this new certification you've had. And like I said at the event, at the graduation, you now are in a position where you could take your resume, you could take your cybersecurity certificate of completion, and you can take the certificate of completion that you were given by the Honorable Atlantic County Commissioner Michael Ruffew. Those 3 documents is a package that we want you to be out there right now presenting your package to each one of these casinos. Call each casino, ask for their human resource department, let them know you've just completed a cybersecurity workforce training program here in Atlantic City, which Congressman Jeff Van Drew sponsored, and see if you can get an interview. Do that with each of the casinos, do that with Atlantic Care, do that with CRETA, do that with Department of Community Affairs. Go online and search for new job opportunities, and whatever the job may be that you believe you can do, go on that interview. And when you hand your resume over along with those certificates, you might surprise some of the folks interviewing you. And they say, well, my goodness, if you've already trained in cybersecurity, we have a different position for you that might be even more rewarding for you. But now is the time to start making phone calls. Now is the time to start paving the cement. I want to share with you what was said. So in one of the news articles, and a shout out to both Atlantic City Focus newspaper and the Front Runner New Jersey paper. Thank you very much, Mark Tyler with Atlantic City Focus and Mr. Clyde Hughes. Clyde Hughes, thank you very much for coverage of our Cyber Guardians graduation. It's important that we are able to get the word out to the public, and you guys have helped us enormously to get the word out, and we can't thank you enough. So this is what I wanted to point out. So Atlantic City, before the big snowstorm of Saturday, January 24th, Atlantic County leaders came together to create a positive storm of cooperation in the first ever mayoral meeting focused on leveraging Atlantic City, Longport, Brigantine, Ventnor. How can we collaborate with each other to do good? So these mayors and Atlantic County Commissioner Michael Ruffew all came to meet with Horace Jones and I an hour before the graduation so that we could talk about our cities collaborating together. And you know, this has never been done before. It's amazing as wonderfully small and productive as the Atlantic coastal sister cities are. Longport, Margate, Ventnor, Atlantic City, Brigantine. None of these mayors had ever met before about collaborating. And all of them showed up. And they showed up during an emergency preparation time for a blizzard, because that's how important it was to all of these mayors to come out and support this incredible graduation of these young Americans in Atlantic City who are now part of a very special group of individuals, cybersecurity aware, cybersecurity trained, cybersecurity focused workforce. And that's what's going to help us take Atlantic City to the next level. The Atlantic City Information Technology SWAT team that the mayor has assembled, the RX5 Cyber Guardians that we're instructing and expanding their horizon for opportunities, as well as these mayors collectively working together so that we can bring resources to all of our Atlantic coastal cities to provide cybersecurity workforce training and some other projects that were discussed. And I don't want to get into the other project details yet because it's really too early. But I can assure you that it's going to blow your mind when you find out what this extraordinary group of mayors is focused on doing with our nonprofit U.S. Hard to mutually benefit all of our Atlantic coastal cities. So I wanted to read to you, if you haven't already seen it, what one of the media advisories, one of the media stories. It says U.S. Hard Cares RX5 celebrates graduation of second Cyber Guardian cybersecurity cohort in Atlantic City. Graduates completed month-long cybersecurity workforce training designed to create pathways to high-demand tech careers and strengthen the region's workforce. And that's what it's all about. This is all about strengthening our regional workforce in South Jersey because we want to be able to be an asset to Governor Mikey Sherrill. We want to be an asset, this workforce, to Atlantic County businesses. We want to create an asset that may be out at the William Hughes Federal Aviation Administration. Some of these young people can be hired. We want to create an asset, human assets, that maybe when the mayor's Bader Field project starts development, some of these young folks that we training can be a part of that new development team. And some of the other development going on in Atlantic City, these developers need people who are administratively prudent, but bring to the table something else. They bring to the table the ability to keep the casinos, the healthcare industry, the financial industry, the small business industry of Atlantic County, Atlantic City, of Longport, and the other cities, keep their data safe. Because that's going to be what employers are looking for in the future, are individuals who bring skills to the table that not only can help elevate their business, but more particularly can help keep their business safe. And you just think, we start that here in Atlantic City, and we focus on collaborating, particularly on cybersecurity and AI industry and workforce training, then we start creating new opportunities and new platforms for new investment to come into Atlantic City. Atlantic City's, the second cohort of the U.S. Hard Cares RX5 Cyber Guardians cybersecurity workforce training program celebrated the successful completion of its intensive training with a graduation ceremony held January 24th, 2026 at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. And I want to give a big shout out to President George Goloff of Hard Rock Casino, because they stood up and they supported us. I mean, they put on a royal show for these graduates. They provided us with additional meeting space, and President Goloff is all on board, as well as President of Resorts, Mark D'Antonio, where we got our start. Nearly 4 months, students completed rigorous coursework in cybersecurity fundamentals, threat detection, risk management, and workforce readiness, equipping them with practical skills to enter the advanced and technology sector. We want to be patient as we move forward, because it's not going to be a magic wand that is waved and the job opportunity just comes in front of us. James Whitehead quoted, noting that the program was supported by a $1 million grant secured with the assistance of U.S. Representative Jeff Van Drew, that we're very thankful for. The Cyber Guardian program is part of a broader U.S. Hard Cares RX5 initiative, which focuses on strengthening communities by creating pathways to high-demand careers, particularly in fields critical to national and economic security. You just imagine that we create this army of cybersecurity trained employees and small businesses and entrepreneurs in Atlantic City and in our coastal cities. And by doing that, we are playing a national role. We're doing something to not only support and keep our county and our state safe, our critical infrastructures safe, our financial institutions and healthcare institutions and our jobs safe, we're also supporting the bigger agenda of America, and that's to keep America safe. Because when the bad guys from Russia or China or wherever the cyber attacks come from, North Korea, when they attack our electric grid in America, when they attack our society, they're not going to go and try to attack it at the Department of Defense. They're not going to try to attack it through the White House. They're not going to try to attack it through the NSA. They're going to try to attack it through the casinos. They're going to try to attack it through little small businesses that make a mistake and open up their data to some virus that spreads, and it may be a worm that goes to others. Perfect example is what happened in Vegas a couple of years ago. A cyber attack happened because the cyber hacker hacked into this million-gallon fish tank that was in the middle of the casino lobby, where they got giant fish, sharks, skanks, big fish. So a hacker hacked each one of those big aquariums, require sophisticated technology to keep the filters running, keep the balance in the salt of the water, balanced. It's a lot of different intricacies to having a big fish tank like that. So the bad guys, what they did, they hacked into the fish tank's computer that keeps the filtration system going. And from there, they were able to access into the casino's data system because it's all connected some kind of way with all these wires. So if they want to attack a casino in Atlantic City, maybe they try to infiltrate one of the small stores, one of the gift shops is inside the casino. Or maybe they try to get access to something in the box office where they sell tickets for a concert. And once they get in there, who knows where they'll go? Maybe they go straight to the safe, the safe box where the money is. And they'll put a ransom on that casino. And they'll tell that casino, unless you pay us $100 million or $200 million, we're going to destroy all your data and all your systems to all of your clients. And not only are we going to destroy your data here, we're going to go from your casino and reach into your affiliate casino across America. It might be in Vegas, and we're going to do the same thing there. So just think if the casinos in Atlantic City start hiring the folks that Mayor Smalls is training, the folks that U.S. Hart is training, then we have further fortified Atlantic City's economy from the bad guys by collaborating and working together. So the Cyber Guardians program is part of a broader program. The graduates are prepared to take on new challenges, but I emphasize that continued support is essential. We have some resume work to do. We have some collaborations to pursue with City Hall to go after new jobs. Be prayerful, be patient, because what you have achieved, or what these Cyber Guardians has achieved, is enormous. Atlantic City Mayor Marty Small encouraged the graduates to participate, to appreciate the significance of this milestone. The mayor said, "This is no different than graduating from high school, college, earning a master's degree or a doctorate," Mayor Small said. That piece of paper, talking about the certifications they received, doesn't make you better than anyone. It makes you more marketable. And that's the key. We give you the tools to be more marketable, because this training that you have sacrificed time for and that you showed up and you showed off and you got high grades, Cyber Guardians, you've earned something important. You've earned something just as important, if not more important, than a college degree. Because you think a person that has the college degree, whether it's an associate's degree, a master's degree, or a doctorate degree, if they haven't taken any cybersecurity courses like you took, they can't do what you can do. And that's to protect an economy, that's to grow an economy, that's to create an opportunity to give your family a better lifestyle. It could be a pathway towards you becoming a new homeowner of some of the affordable houses that's going to be built in Atlantic City that are being built right now. It's a whole bunch of positives that grow out of this significant training that each one of these cyber guardians has taken, and we don't want to make light of it. Don't get frustrated, the mayor says, if the opportunity doesn't happen right away. When you earn that certificate, the ones we gave, the RX5 certificate, no one can take that education away from you. George Goloff, the president of Hard Rock Casino, also praised the graduates in program leadership. The president of Hard Rock stated, "I just want to recognize the incredible work that U.S. Hard Cares is doing in the community." President Goloff said, "Cybersecurity is a critical part of every organization, not just in Atlantic City and New Jersey, but globally." This is a statement of a man who is running a multi-billion-dollar business in Atlantic City. And he said, cybersecurity is a critical part of every organization, not just in Atlantic City or New Jersey, but globally. Anywhere our cyber guardians want to go, they have a new ticket to travel on now. And it's a prosperous ticket. It's a ticket that can lead to a very prosperous career future. It's a ticket that their whole family can take a ride on in terms of the opportunity from the doors that is opening up now. Saturday's ceremony marked an important milestone for participants, many of whom are now positioned to pursue industry certifications, employment opportunities, or continued education in cybersecurity and related technology fields. Program organizers highlighted the dedication required to balance intensive coursework with personnel and professional responsibilities. Jimmy Whitehead, your guy, emphasized that training students receive a unique opportunity. The cybersecurity training you have received, our Cyber Guardians, is not available through traditional channels. You can't get this kind of training at Atlantic Cape Community College or Stockton University. The level of training aligns with the standards used by the National Security Administration. So our extraordinary cyber guardians got the same kind of training that the guys get at NSA and DOD and other agencies that are equipped to protect America. That's heavy. We have created something unprecedented here. We have created an unprecedented collaboration of all 5 Atlantic coastal sister city mayors. That Atlantic coastal coalition of mayors is supportive of this extraordinary RX5 Cyber Guardians workforce training program. And together, we'll be able to move Atlantic City and our sister cities forward economically and change the economic paradigm of Atlantic City. That means just change the economic model from just being purely focused on casinos to focused on casinos, the healthcare industry, and the cybersecurity and AI industry, which we all know is the biggest growing markets, the biggest growing industries, the biggest growing financial investments in the world right now are focused on cybersecurity and AI. So here we are collaborating with the city of the great city of Atlantic City. We're collaborating with the great mayor of Longport, Patrick Armstrong. We're collaborating with the great mayor of Margate, Michael Collins. We're collaborating with the wonderful mayor of Ventnor, Tim Crabell, and we're collaborating with this magnificent mayor of Atlantic City, Marty Small Sr., as well as the most honorable mayor of Brigantine, Mr. Vince Sierra. Now, you bring all of this heavy brass together, and that's just an old military saying. 'Cause when you bring the brass together, that's the generals and the admirals and all of your leading leadership in the military. When you bring this kind of high level, powerful, brilliant political leadership together, nothing but something good can come out of it. And on top of that, it's bipartisan collaboration. So these particular guardians, again, I want to read their names again because I'm so honored to know them. Because at their age, they're doing something that I didn't do when I was their age. That's a bold step for the young people of Atlantic City who are local individuals who are taking significant steps, not only to help us be a bigger and better economy and a more beautiful oceanfront city, they're taking big, huge steps to empower themselves, to improve the lives of their families, to be a shining example for their children. Look what mom and look what dad are doing. They're going after something to improve the family. Robert Cotman, David Dixon, Brandon Hargroves, Nair Boy Hathaway, Ashley Ingram, Stefan Jackson, Angelo Jones, Anatole Lynn, Ahmad Martin, David Mitchell, Khadijah Mohammed, Maeri Normil, Lorraine Robinson, Takima Tokson, Kai Warren, Juan Wiggins, Tanisha Williams, Bill Young. You are all incredible Americans. You are all extraordinary Atlantic City residents. You are the foundation of what we are building in the future for this beautiful oceanfront sister city effort to change this economy and change it. And in the process of changing it, make sure that you are a part of the change that happens. So economically, you benefit, Atlantic City benefits, and all of our sister cities benefit when we grow this opportunity together. I'm going to share a little bit of this with you. This is an article from Atlantic City Focus. The last article was from Front Runner, New Jersey. Two extraordinary local publications, Atlantic City Focus, the Tyler Brothers, and with the wonderful newspaper, the Front Runner, our wonderful friend Clyde, the author of the Front Runner, is Clyde Hunter. I believe I'm getting that right. I want to make sure I get it right because I want to make sure that they get credit. I mean, Clyde Hughes. I'm thinking of somebody else when I say Hunter, but Clyde Hughes. But I'm going to show you guys something. This was a, let me see if you can see this. This is a photograph. This is kind of shaky because I'm doing the virtual discussion day, but this is a photograph of all of the mayors and Commissioner Michael Ruffu standing together, meeting together. And then they all came in and supported and participated in our program. Mayor Patrick Armstrong spoke on the program and how important this graduation was. The Honorable Mayor Marty Small Sr. spoke on the program. Our president of the NAACP and vice president of City Council, Kaleem Shabazz, spoke on the program. T-Mobile representative Craig Robinson came and spoke in the program and brought a whole bunch of T-Mobile stuff and was one of our sponsors. Horace Jones, he had to leave early, but because the snow was coming, and some high-level officials from HUD who joined us. We had dinner with them the night before. Jason Legrand and the senior advisor, Barbara Gruson. They had dinner with us the night before, along with Mayor Patrick Armstrong down in Margate at a wonderful restaurant, Sophia's. And we had a chance to talk to them about what our plans are going forward and how we can work together with HUD and other government agencies to expand our program to be inclusive of our sister cities. And they were here for the graduation, but they had to get out of town because the blizzard was on its way. And not only did they have to get back to New York, the administrator had to get back to Connecticut as well. And Horace had to drive all the way back down to Annapolis. So to be on the side of safety, they left early, but they participated significantly in all the discussions, all the meetings, and we have some incredible follow-up coming up over the next 30 to 60 days, which I will keep folks abreast of. But I'm going to share this with you before I end the show. The podcast, Clyde Hughes, A.C. Joseph H. Media. Before the big snowstorm, I like the way he opened it up. Before the big snowstorm on Saturday, January 24th, Atlantic County leaders came together to create a positive storm. I like that. We created a positive storm of cooperation. And the first ever mayoral meeting focused on leveraging Atlantic coastal sister cities. The meeting at Hard Rock Casino and Hotel, Atlantic City, organized by tech organization U.S. Humanitarian Aid Response Team CARES, that's the long name of U.S. Hard CARES, Humanitarian Aid Response Team, brought together Atlantic County Commissioner Michael Ruffew, Longport Mayor Patrick Armstrong, Margate Mayor Michael Collins, Ventnor Mayor Tim Crabell, Atlantic City Mayor Marty Small Sr., Brigantine Mayor Vince Sierra, and Hard Rock Casino President George Goloff. U.S. Hard CARES President Horace Jones and I are very thankful that these distinguished mayors agreed to participate in our first meeting about collaboration. We're thankful that God held up the snowstorm until we met, and after we completed our wonderful RX-5 Cyber Guardian Cybersecurity Workforce Training, second cohort graduation. We started as RX-5 Cyber Workforce Training Program, sponsored by Congressman Jeff Van Drew, is at a point where we plan to expand our program to local Atlantic coastal city mayors. Atlantic City Mayor Marty Small said. Mayor Collins said in a release statement, the opportunity for a wonderful economic development opportunities that can provide incentives to help low-income urban and rural communities grow. The kind of collaborations we're doing are not just needed here, they're needed in other cities, but we're going to focus on our cities. It's an honor to collaborate with U.S. Hard CARES, focusing on leading this extraordinary effort. Michael Collins, the mayor of Margate, is currently serving as our honorary chairperson. To spur innovative cybersecurity and artificial intelligence job creation and economic growth in distressed areas, as well as for Atlantic City's sister coastal cities, Mayor Collins said in a statement. Commissioner Ruffew said that creating economic development opportunities for all 6 municipalities will mutually benefit everyone. President Donald J. Trump's Platinum Plan advocates using opportunity zones and other economic vehicles and mechanisms to support Black economic empowerment and access to capital, which is a wonderful approach toward helping Atlantic City and her sister cities create much needed economic growth, entrepreneur Jim Worthington said in an accompanying statement. Resorts Casino President Mark Giantonio said, He has been supporting U.S. Hard Care's RX5 cybersecurity program from its infancy, and he has. Resorts Casino, we had our very first cybersecurity summit at Resorts, and we had a bunch of extraordinary folks coming, a meeting at like a U shape like they do at the United Nations, and that was the real beginning of what we have grown into. That was a year ago or a year and a half ago. And from that point, you have to stay on top of things. You can't plant a seed, put a little bit of water on it, and expect it to grow. You have to be the constant fertilizer of that mustard seed. You've got to nurture it, you've got to manage it, you've got to water it, you've got to put some sunshine on it. When it's cloudy outside, you have to see that thing sprout. And as it sprouts, you got to continue to fertilize it every day. Every day you have to grow that economics. And before long, it becomes a reality. Matter of fact, a couple of people from City Hall told me very kindly, they said, Jimmy, when you first started down this road, nobody believed you. And as they started seeing little pieces come together and me receiving more support from the City Hall and others, and they see what happened last Saturday, they're believers now. But it took 10 years. It took the last 2.5 years to actually implement the program. But before that, it took 7 years of constant due diligence, constantly never giving up, constantly on top of it every day, 7 days a week. Nothing happens fast and nothing happens easy. That's why they use the term blood, sweat, and tears makes it happen. Giantonio said that U.S. Hard has been consistent with their focus of providing local Atlantic City residents a much-needed pathway to a successful future, while helping keep Atlantic City safe from future cyber attacks and crime. This is the president of Resorts. He said that. Fellow local casino leader, Hard Rock, Atlantic City, President George Goloff said he has always been attracted to local community economic development efforts. And something I just learned, the president of Hard Rock Casino started out as a dishwasher. Okay? He started out as a dishwasher. He worked hard every day, and he grew to become the president of Hard Rock Casino. Now, who's to say that one of these cyber guardians today can't be the president of U.S. Hard tomorrow, or Millennium Technologies, or one of these other companies, the Atlantic City Electric Company, Stockton University? Why can't some of these cyber guardians achieve greatness? They will. I believe in them because they took the first step. They showed up constantly. They learned the skills that were taught to them. They have prepared. They have graduated. They are certified now. And they're going to become even more certified as HORAS develops some more programs to enhance their qualifications. We are proud to recognize U.S. Hard Cares to support the RX5 Cyber Guardians cybersecurity workforce training endeavors, Goloff said. U.S. Housing and Urban Development Regional Administrator Jason Legrand said he was gratified to see the graduation of RX5 Cyber Guardians cohorts, noting that much training leads to the growing tech jobs of the future. This important graduation has trained the next RX5 Cyber Guardians to support Atlantic City's digital assets and technology for advancement and economic self-sufficiency, Administrator Legrand said in a statement. So think about that. Economic self-sufficiency is what this is all about. Whether you become a cybersecurity entrepreneur, a cybersecurity AI small business, or a well-paid cyber guardian employee, It's all about self-sufficiency. How do we create the opportunity for our citizens and our local communities from Longport to Brigantine, all of those cities along the coast? How do we create a better economic opportunity for our young people to learn about, work in, and grow? Self-sufficiency is the key. So with that, I just want to say that it was an extraordinary weekend. The snow didn't stop us. The snow made us stronger and it made us grow. We heard about it. A number of people were saying, Jimmy, are you going to cancel the event? Now, of course, if the snow had come before we got everything done, we may have considered canceling it. But you can believe one thing, it takes a lot to get me to cancel anything, because I don't believe in canceling. I don't believe in not showing up before the time I'm supposed to be there. I don't believe in lateness. I believe in the hustle and the grind. I believe in achieving as much success as you want to, as long as you put the work in. I want to give a special thanks to all of the mayors that came out to support us. I want to give a special thanks to Hard Rock Casino Hotel for hosting our wonderful event. I want to give a special thanks to Front Runner New Jersey Media, as well as Atlantic City Focus Media. Thank you all for supporting us. Thank you, T-Mobile. T-Mobile came through supporting us as a sponsor, brought some materials, and we have some very special discussions going on right now with T-Mobile. Here again, they're all focused on how do we grow the economy of our Atlantic City coastal cities. So thank you, Mayor Marty Small Sr. Thank you, Mayor Patrick Armstrong. Thank you, Mayor Michael Collins. Thank you, Mayor Michael Tim Crabell. And thank you, Mayor Vince Sierra. And thank you, Honorable Commissioner Michael Ruffu, for your extraordinary support of our endeavors. I'm looking forward to our follow-up discussions on how do we continue to move this incredible functioning machine forward called U.S. Hard Cares. Thank you, Horace Jones, for being an incredible partner and a brilliant cybersecurity leader. Thank you, Cyber Guardians, for your extraordinary participation in our program. And let's keep working together to move this great city and coastal sister cities forward together. Wish everybody a wonderful, safe, and warm weekend. I hope you have an enjoyable time with your family in the snow. If you got a snow sled or whatever, snowball fights. Be happy, be loving, and I'm going to leave you with something that Mayor Small said that I love. He has a new mantra now. I'll tell you the mayor's new mantra. Faith, resilience, and redemption. That's how we're going to end this Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour podcast today. Focus on faith, resilience, and redemption. Okay? Thank you all. Have a blessed weekend. This is Jimmy Whitehead. Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour podcast.